Let's get some background on this decision. Our reporter Karen Morn is tracking this breaking story for us and joins us on the line right now. Good afternoon or good evening to you, Karen. Do we have any confirmation, first of all, that Pistorius' leave to appeal has been dismissed?
Yes, Joanne, we have spoken to National Prosecuting Authority spokesperson Luvuyo Mfaku, who has confirmed that order and decision of the court was sent to the state at about 3:30 this afternoon. We know it was also sent to Oscar Pistorius' lawyers, and he has in fact been informed of the decision. The NPA is saying tonight that it welcomes the decision of the Constitutional Court, and it is ready to proceed with Oscar Pistorius' sentencing on the 18th of April.
So this is what I was curious to know. I mean, I thought it might be unusual, unorthodox for a decision of this nature to come through at this time of the evening. But according to what you tell us, Oscar Pistorius would already have been informed of this, Karen.
Yes, we understand that he has his lawyers and his family not willing to comment, understandably, at this point. They have to now go through the process of the sentencing procedures, which in many ways will be another kind of trial. We know that because Oscar Pistorius has been convicted of murder, the state now has the opportunity to lead evidence in aggravation of sentence. They've made it very clear that they want him to get the minimum sentence of 15 years in jail, and they may well choose to lead the evidence of particularly Reeva Steenkamp's family, friends, loved ones, to argue that Oscar Pistorius should go to prison for 15 years. He, of course, will also have the opportunity to lead his own witnesses about his situation. And, of course, his lawyers will arguably be attempting to do all they can to keep that prison sentence to the absolute minimum.
And now just remind us of the arguments he would have put forward in trying to get the Constitutional Court to hear this appeal.
Essentially what he said was that the trial court, Judge Thokozile Masipa, had found that he had acted in putative self-defense. So in other words, when he fired those shots into the toilet door, he believed that both he and Reeva Steenkamp's life was in danger. And they said that the appeal court had fundamentally not correctly applied the law around dolus eventualis, that while he had fired those shots into the door knowing that the human being behind it could die, or reconciling himself with that knowledge, he didn't realize that what he was doing was unlawful because he believed that he was acting in self-defense. And they said Judge Thokozile Masipa made that factual finding and that the SCA effectively overturned it. And remember, that's a very legal argument, but essentially you can't appeal, the state cannot appeal a judge's factual finding. It can only appeal his or her legal interpretation. So it was quite a dense legal technical argument. And to be quite honest, I am a little bit surprised the Constitutional Court has not even given Pistorius and his legal team the right to argue or try to argue that particular ground of appeal. We have seen them hearing a number of cases, but to shut the door at this early stage of the appeal process is quite a profound slap in the face for Oscar Pistorius' lawyers and for he himself to some degree.
Well, what does it mean for him now? Would he be taken straight to prison at this point, or would he remain living with his uncle under the bail conditions prescribed before, while waiting for the sentencing proceedings to get underway in his murder conviction?
No, he will remain under bail. Remember, those conditions were fixed, and basically the determination was he would return to court on the 18th of April for sentencing, and he would remain on bail until then. We understand that his family is quite concerned about his psychological and emotional well-being. He has been diagnosed by state psychologists as having suicidal tendencies and suffering from quite profound depression and anxiety. And we know from having covered the case that one of the main issues that he had was that he did not want to be called a murderer. And tonight, the Constitutional Court has officially and finally put that label on his life.
Which court will now hear sentencing proceedings?
It will be Judge Thokozile Masipa. The case is referred back to her. She will then hear argument, and she will do so firmly in the knowledge that the state wants quite a heavy sentence for Oscar Pistorius and has shown a tendency in the past, and successfully so, to appeal against her ruling. So it will be quite an experience for her to return to this case, which caused so much controversy within her career, and now have to sentenced Oscar Pistorius, a man that she'd found acted in negligence in his killing of Reeva Steenkamp, actually sentenced him for murder.
Karen Morton, thank you so much for comprehensively explaining that to us. Our reporter live to us with the latest on the Oscar Pistorius case, the Constitutional Court having now denied him the right to argue for leave to appeal in his case. Sentencing proceedings, as Karen Morton has told us, will begin in just a few weeks' time.